Right, so this is equations with fractions. It's not an unfamiliar topic. In fact, it's almost identical to what was done in grade 10. So first of all, the note here says that we can solve fractions or equations with fractions by multiplying each term by the LCD. Okay. In many cases, it will lead to a quadratic equation, meaning there will be multiple answers, two answers. It's important to take note of restrictions when solving equations with fractions. Of course, when we have fractions, let's say a over b, right, the restriction is that you don't want b to be equal to 0. So whatever will make your denominator 0 needs to be excluded, because otherwise your answer is undefined. So if you have a fraction that says a over x plus 3, right, then x cannot be equal to negative 3, because if it is, then your denominator is 0 and then your sum is undefined. Okay, so it says here a solution or value that will cause your denominator to be 0 cannot be accepted, and that is what we just spoke about. So step 1, we have our LCD. We write down our LCD and then we write down our restriction. So we can go ahead and see that in this case, the LCD is simply our x minus 1. Okay, it's the only denominator that's not 1. So this one is straightforward. And the restriction here is that x cannot be equal to 1. Because if x is equal to 1, the entire sum will be undefined. Now that we have our LCD, the next step is to multiply by the LCD. So each term needs to be multiplied by this LCD. So I've gone ahead and multiplied each term by the LCD. Right, so I say x multiplied by the LCD, which is x minus 1. Important to leave in brackets because it is a binomial, plus 2 over x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 1 is equal to 4 multiplied by x minus 1. Now, if it makes it easier to see what's going on, when you're multiplying your LCD with another fraction, you can put your LCD over 1 if it helps. If the values are not in fractional form, then there's no need to put it over 1. You just multiply the LCD directly. So let's do this together. Okay. So we're going to go ahead with the first section. We go x squared minus x. Alright. Plus, this will now cancel. We have one term over one term. So this is just plus 2, all equal to 4x minus 4. Alright. Now at this point, I'm going to write this in standard form where it's equal to 0. So we have x squared minus x minus the 4x that comes over plus 2 plus 4. We simplify this down to x squared minus 5x plus 6. Then at this point, we factorize the trinomial. Alright, so our factors that work to give us minus 5 is going to be minus 3 and minus 2, right? Those are the only, or that's the only pair that works. If you take minus 6 plus 1, it won't produce the correct C value, okay? So therefore, x is equal to 3 or x is equal to 2. Now, before you end off this as your solution, you need to go ahead and check what was the restriction in the beginning, and is your answer part of that restriction. The restriction was that x cannot be equal to 1, and we didn't get 1 as an answer, so that means both these solutions are applicable to this problem.